Hi everyone, it's Angie from You Can Create Too, and I just decided I'd turn on the video while I was crafting today. So there's really no purpose to this other than enjoying my coffee, crafting, and chatting to you guys. So I made this little cover and I put an accordion style spine in it, and my idea for this is I'm going to create some pockets made of vellum that are going to be in this to store all of my tiny little fussy cuts in. So that's the plan. Let's see if it works. So I've already off screen done a few of my little pockets. Basically all I'm doing is taking some vellum and I have marked it into thirds, and this doesn't have to be perfect. This is just for me, and it's just to hold my fussy cuts. And I've discovered, I don't know about you ladies, but I have discovered that vellum does not like to be glued, but I thought since vellum is so slick that I would try this. It's called Gem Tack by Beacon. I'm telling ya, it works. It dries clear, and as it's completely dry, these little ripples will be gone. And let me find one that's dry here. Look at how strong this is. If I can get it open. Look at this. It doesn't come apart. So at first I was thinking I would just tack it down with this and then I'd stitch over it, but I might not have to stitch. Now if you don't have glue like this, you can use tacky glue or anything like that, but then because vellum is so slick, I would go ahead and zigzag or straight stitch around it so that it's nice and sturdy. Definitely worth getting some of this if you're going to work a lot with vellum though. So let's get to this. Basically, all I'm doing right now is folding these and getting them ready. And so that I don't bore you, I'll be right back. I'll finish folding these and getting them glued on the sides off camera. I'm back. So what I've done is got all of my pockets created, and what we do next is we're going to take the same Fabri-Tac, I guess not Fabri-Tac, the Gem Tack, and I am gluing right down the center sets of 3 pockets, just like that. And I've done these, and you can see it's almost dry, but when it is dry it'll look like this and not have the ripples. So these are our little vellum pockets that will open like this to hold my fussy cuts. So now what I'm going to do, let's measure. Oh, the other thing I did, sorry, I went through and cut these with a punch so that I had my little thumb tab so that I could get in there a little easier. Now, what I want to do is measure about how big I want my pages. So each one of these accordions is about 1/2 inch. And I'd like for my cardstock that I'm going to back these vellum pockets in to really be attached well to each one of these. So I'm gonna add 1/2 inch to whatever width I want this. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go about 4.5 inches because that's going to give me enough room for a slight edge here and enough on this side to be tucked in on here. So I'll be right back after I get those cut.
Amen.
Okay, change of plans. You know, you get crafting with a certain thing in your mind and you're like, that's great. And then part of the way through you go, aha, I have a better idea. That's what's happening. So what I did was I took some 12 by 12 sheets of scrapbook paper that coordinate nice and pretty just because it's me and I want pretty. It doesn't have to be. You could definitely use your sheets of scrapbook paper that you just don't love because it's just going to be for you to see and nobody else. Anyways, so my new idea, what I did was I cut this into the 12 by 12, I cut into 4-inch wide strips, and then I measured my little vellum packets and added just a tiny bit extra so that this isn't sticking out the top, and I doubled it so that it would be able to be like that. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a line of glue, stick it down, another line of glue, fold that up, and because I'm going to be getting into this folder quite often, I decided I didn't want paper to be my main attachment, so I'm going to take probably some muslin or some sort of fabric. I'm going to use fabric and I will glue it on here and then glue that tab on here so that it's fabric that's our hinge instead of folded paper. I just think it's going to be stronger that way. So let's get started and see how this goes. All I'm doing here, folding these up. Again, I can't find my bone folder, so you know me, this works really well. I'm going to fold all of these in half. I hope everyone is having a great day. It's, excuse me, it's currently late summer, early fall here in Oregon, and while the weather still is scorching hot most days, the leaves are starting to turn, and oh man, it's just beautiful. I love fall. It's probably my favorite season. And every year as summer begins, I say, no, summer's definitely my favorite. But I gotta tell you, by the end of summer, I'm ready for fall because it's dry and it's hot. Bring on fall. But you will never, ever, ever hear me say, bring on winter. I'm not a winter girl. I don't mind the snow as long as I don't have to go out in it. I don't mind driving in it as long as I don't have to drive around anyone else that's in it. But that's just me. Okay, now that we've got these done, let's start gluing these in. And the reason I've done 7 of them is because I have 7 little accordions here in this. I don't know if I'm on screen. There we go. So 7 little accordions here. So I've made 7 packets that are going to go here with a fabric hinge. That's the plan. Now I'm putting the white side in, and if you have a double-sided paper that you want to use, what I would do is use the less busy side of the paper. For example, I have this paper, which is beautiful, and this is the back of it. Now, even though this is dark, it's the less busy side, so you'll be able to see your fussy cuts. Whereas if you do a highly printed one and you're looking through, the print can show through the vellum a little bit, and it just kind of makes it a little more difficult to see which little pieces of fussy cuts or ephemera that you've got in there that you might want to use. So first thing I did, let's see, was we folded these, and now all I'm going to do is take my little packets of vellum pockets, and you can see this line right where the glue was. I'm going to run another bead of glue, and again I'm using the gem tack for this because it's working super good for vellum. Now you want to make sure that your open sides are not in. They are going to be on the top. You could also do these as a side pocket if you wanted. I'm doing it straight up to hold my fussy cuts. Now if you wanted to do it this way instead, this would be excellent for storing your extra tags and things like that, because they can stick out a little bit and it's not gonna matter. Okay, let's finish this guy. So now that we've got that side glued down, we're gonna do another line of this gem tack glue and put it down. Now I'm actually going to set my handy dandy coffee cup on it to kind of keep that glue pressed together until it has just a minute to set. This gem tag glue dries almost as quickly as a Fabri-Tac does, but you just want to make sure it's got really good contact for that first few seconds, just so that it grips. Now another thing I'm doing, I'm not sure if you can see, my crease is here. I'm leaving a little bit of extra room so that when this folds up, it's not binding in the crease. It also gives you a little bit of a gusset, a little extra room for when you are stuffing all your goodies in here. If you remember to leave a little extra room, you can fit more in and you won't be fighting it. I'd love to hear in the comments what everybody is working on today. Are you crafting with me? Are you working on other projects? Are you just vegging out? I'd love to know. Ooh, I need some coffee. Not sure if you can see this. I am a complete and total crazy chicken lady, and my mom and sister got me this cup and it says, "Please excuse my foul mood." Yeah, I have to admit, according to chicken math, which is a real thing, I have 0 chickens. Of course, if you do a head count, I've got 30 chickens. But you know, 9 of those are still peeping. They're still babies. So you know, in my opinion, those don't count as chickens. They're just babies. And they're so cute. I don't know if any of you are fellow feathered friend lovers, but I have silkies. So if you know anything about chickens, a silkie stays fluffy and fuzzy just like a baby chick does. Now my silkies are bantam size, which means they stay pretty small. They're not going to get very big, and they're so darn cute. The downside of silkies is that they go broody, which means they want to sit on eggs and be cranky really, really often. So over the summer, my 2 silky girls decided that it was time to become mommies. One of them, I just kept collecting her eggs and didn't let her sit on them, but she was a diehard and was not about to give up. So I finally broke down early in the summer, and I let her go ahead and sit on some of the silky eggs, and we ended up with 4 fluffy silky babies and 1 that is a cross between my silky rooster and my, oh, here's an example. I put it too far down at the bottom and this doesn't want to close. So before that dries all the way, I'm going to, oh, it might be dry. Let's see, there we go. See, it dries so fast. I'm gonna just flip that over and move it up a little bit. There's an example of why we don't want it all the way down at the bottom of the crease. Okay, where was I? Ah, my silky chickens. So, excuse me. I have a silky rooster, and his name is Snowman. He is this adorable fuzzball. And his favorite girl out there in the chicken yard is the biggest hen I have, and she is a kind of a barnyard cross, but she's very large, and I let my black mama silky sit on one of those eggs just because I was kind of interested in how this was going to turn out, if it turned out. So the 5th baby that hatched was that cross, and she is shaped like a silky, but she's about double the size of the other babies, and she has normal feathers instead of the silky feathers, so she's excuse me, she's this kind of a happy accident of genetics, and because of that I'm calling her Happy. She's just so cute. Excuse me. If you don't know, we've got a lot of wildfires burning in Oregon right now, and the smoke is just something else. So please excuse my raspy throat. So we've got all of these made, and I'm going to go find some muslin or some fabric other than that and be right back. And don't let me forget to finish my story of my crazy silky chickens. I'm back. So all I did was took some muslin. It's a muslin that has this pretty shimmery, glittery effect. I'm not into glitter, so I thought using this inside my book as my hinges would be a great way to use this up, because I don't know that I'm going to use it any other way. Anyways, you can see all I've done, oh, and I've missed one right there. So all I've done is glued these in. So I will show you how I did that. Just kind of open and press that flat. I've taken my Fabri-Tac, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. The smoke in there is pretty bad. So I'm just taking my Fabri-Tac and running it inside here. Just like that. Taking a strip and just laying it down like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. I have little strings sticking out. All I did was I estimated about how much I was going to need, and I tore some strips off. So that's what I've got going on here. So now, since these are dry, except that one in the middle, all I'm going to do, take these. Actually, let's go this one first. I'm going to take this, make sure I have it right side up, and I do. I'm going to put some Fabri-Tac right along here. And stick that down. I do want to make sure that I'm leaving a little bit of a space between my spine, accordion, and my page so that it flips nicely. And then just gluing that down. Now it looks like I got it a little crooked, so let's get it a little straighter in there. And there we go. And then we'll move to the next one. What I'm going to do in between each one so that I don't get glue on that one is lay down a scrapbook page piece of paper so that they don't stick together. So I get my Fabri-Tac. Okay, where was I with my story? I think I was telling you that Happy Little Accident turned out to be a gorgeous chicken. She's, let's see, I want to make sure I'm getting these even, or as even as possible. And then I'll put this book page in between so that they don't stick together. And press it down. And move to the next one. So then that leaves us with another mama hen that desperately decided she needed babies. And she was sitting on eggs but was continually getting disturbed by the other chickens, so she wasn't able to sit on them constantly. And therefore those eggs just didn't end up being viable. So what I did was I kind of put out the SOS to the local chicken community and said, help, I need babies for a cranky mama hen. And I was able to get 4 little 1-day-old Serama chicks. Now Seramas are the smallest domesticated chicken breed. Again, I got this crooked. Let's see. Yeah, Seramas are the smallest domesticated chicken breed, and when they're full size, they're generally not much bigger than a Coke can, like a soda can. They're so small. And they're so darn cute. So now I've got I'll be honest, I've got some very bizarre chicken breeds. So we've got the Silkies that stay fluffy. We've got the Seramas that stay about the size of this coffee cup. Excuse me. And I have naked neck Turkins. Now, if you've never seen a naked neck Turkin, I highly recommend you Google that, because they are ridiculously funny looking and I just love them. Naked neck Turkins, just as their name says, don't have feathers on their neck. So they literally have these skinny little naked chicken necks, and then the rest of them looks like a normal chicken. But they are egg-laying machines. I just love my naked neck girls. And then I've got a couple other breeds. There's blue laced red Wyandotte, which is a breed that I've got. And then I've got blue Andalusian. I get such a wide range of egg colors, and I sell my eggs locally to different people who just love getting all the different colors. You don't just get white. We've got white, we've got brown, we've got cream, we've got green, and we've got blue. It's awesome. It's like a rainbow of eggs. I used to have one. She was an older hen I used to have, and she was an Easter egger, which basically means she's a barnyard mix that lays really pretty eggs. And her eggs were this really pale, beautiful pink color. So pretty. Don't have her anymore. When she retired, she got a reprieve from going to freezer camp, which is the tongue-in-cheek way of saying that she was butchered. She was such a good chicken that she did not end up in freezer camp. She went to live with a man in the next town over who just has opened up his place to retired chickens, if you will. And it's just so nice that he takes in roosters, he takes in hens that have finished their laying cycles, he takes in injured birds. I mean, it's a really nice thing to have somebody local like that that takes your birds if you don't keep them as pets, and you're needing them for egg production, and now egg production is down. So instead of seeing all of these birds get butchered, he has opened up his property. I think he said he has about, I don't know, 100 birds or so, which is pretty awesome. So here's where we are so far. I've got one to go. I'm really excited about this. I hope I'm not boring you all to tears. There it is. Because I'm really enjoying just crafting along with you and chatting. And drinking my coffee. Okay, I am a coffee lover. I do like tea as well, but man, if it's coffee, I'm there. What about you? Are you coffee drinkers, tea, something else? Sorry if my head's getting in the way here. There we go. This is the last one. I'm going to make sure it's stuck down really well. So this is the back of each of my pages, or like this. I will go through once this is done, and I'll do it off camera so you don't have to see me just tacking all of this down. But you can see I think the fabric hinge is going to be the way to go. I'm sure it looks really silly from this direction, but when I go to grab myself a needing to go through and get some fussy cuts, then I'll probably end up putting tags on these so that, you know, one says butterflies, one says flowers, things like that, but then they'll all be located just like this. I'm really excited about this. Now, if you decide to make one of these, I'd love to know how it turns out. And yeah, let me know what you think. I'm excited about this. I've been sitting here with this cover finished for a couple of months, just loving it, but not sure what I was going to do with it, because it is kind of small with a really thick spine. And because I had put this accordion style in it, it would have been difficult to try and stitch in some signatures, but doing it this way and using the fabric as the hinge, it can lay flat and still flip. And then when I get to the one I want, there we go. Let me know what you think. Hope you guys had fun. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a craft, and it's just for fun. And I'm Angie Couture, and if I can create it, then you can create it too. Have a good day.